Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. Today we're looking at an artifact that we've been calling Squirrel Girl. It's a repeating character that shows up. You can see on this example how there's a little cutout for the mouth. It's like a bear-shaped face character. This one has an eye painted in, and it has a straight back, kind of weird hair, maybe a muskrat of some sort. You can see a few different examples of this represented here. So with the light, you can really see the carvings, how the lines are done on this. There's these vertical lines, but then also these diagonal ones that come up. So the ones that I'm seeing, I see this one here, and then another one here, and then above as well. And it's a really neat, drawn out behind here, it's a really neat character that some other people have found as well. So here's another little tiny one. I've got this one kind of drawn out. You can see again that same characteristic. The things that really pop out for me are the curve of the button nose and the forehead there. You see how those curves, they match up exactly on everyone. And you see how this face has that cutout? And this one here as well has that same cutout. So I have our camera set up so we can get really close. And I have a really beautiful crystal one here that we can see as well. And so sometimes it's just a matter of a few degrees that can change these and make them, make the nose pop out right and get the correct curves. But there we are right here with this one. Really beautiful piece. And I think we have like 13 of these now. So let's go ahead and take just a quick look at a few more of these. Again, with that same little button nose. These are so many other things on different sides and on different edges, but there's a few of them that are really neat, and we'll go ahead and take a look at a few of them. Here's a nice character. So on the ends of your artifacts, you're always going to find a really great, here's the nose and the eye and the mouth with the top hat. And on the edges of your stones here, you're always going to find really wonderful characters. And we can sit and play with this one all day, but again, with this great, see the circle for the eye? And then as we tilt it, you can see how the cheekbone comes out. Of course, the light's not perfectly set up for the right side. Facing to the left, we can do this all day and pull out more and more characters. The images on this one are really great because they're not just on the edges, they're interior as well. So the height of the stone, it's a level of detail that many of us are not used to looking at. So many times whenever somebody may be seeing something like one of these stones, they just kind of just see a stone, a black stone, but they're not looking at the fact that this is crystal and this is painted black, opaque. And there's actually portraits and things all over this as well, but Squirrel Girl is represented right here. And so there are different shapes and different sizes, and sometimes a little bit different in the way that they're represented. And so these ones here, you'll see here two of them, and they're a little bit different. See the nose poking out here and the eye for the character, the same character. And then I'm going to show you here a very similar one. So here we are again. So the thing that's really letting me know that this is Squirrel Girl is that we see the straight back hair, and we can see the button eye and the poked up nose. See how the eye matches up there? And then that straight back hair once again. Really neat, isn't it? So the straight back hair you can see right here represented. Sometimes the angle is just a little bit different, but we have a very large one here. Again, these are all different ones, but they all have that same character represented here, right? So at first glance, really not sure, but this is a preponderance of evidence, right? As we've talked about before. Thank you, Edwin Barnhart, for coining that term. So that's Squirrel Girl. We have a few more that we could go over, but let's go ahead and look at some really beautiful portraits here. So just in the green crystal here, you can see the portrait coming out. And what I can go ahead and share with you here is, go ahead and poke out a few of these really neat portraits. There's one of them that has a really great eye. And we're gonna be able to flip this upside down and right side up. The one that I'm seeing right here off the bat is this green one. And then as we tilt it a little more here, let's go ahead and flip it up, because there are some really great defined ones on here. So the one that I want to show you, let's see if I can find the really great ones. This is a really neat polished stone. So this one here, and then let's see if we can get it correct. Of course, you're seeing this, especially as we tilt it a little bit. But when we get over here, here we are with this one. So this stone in particular is really weird, the way that you look either up or down it to get the portrait out. So you can see these carvings. And that's probably our perfect portrait there. It's a really nice one. Here's a pretty cool portrait. This one has a few on it. I'm not seeing the ones that are really defined that I wanted to show you. However, it is quite a fantastic stone anyway. I think it was mostly like this one, and then there was another larger one too that's not really popping out for me very well. There he is. Maybe. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at this guy here. So thanks for joining me for this, guys. We're gonna probably take it out to 10 minutes. And so what we're looking at here is a character. You can see this black paint on here, this V. There's actually a bird head. So let's focus on the top, and you see the orange beak right here with the crest for the bird. Go ahead and put another little bird right there. So you can see the bird head right on top, right here. Kind of the same shape bird head. So looking at the orange beak here around, and then the bird's eye just in this section. So this would be the eye of the person, and perhaps covering this, not really sure. It's kind of tough to make out the face, but the bird head is really beautifully designed there. Of course, you can see the eye right here. You guys see that, right? Really beautiful. The rest of it's hard to make out. I believe we see a portrait here with this black eye. And again, probably another bird on the head. But this one's a little tougher for me. I've looked at it a few times and I can't really make out exactly what everything is. For this one, we have a painted in red eye with, of course, this wild character. But on the other side, we have another portrait here. You can see the same mouth poking out, the nose, but there's actually a bird head up on top. And so looking at the bird's eye right here, the shiny eye, the crest, see the way the carvings are done? And then the bird's beak is just right here in this section. So there's the bird's head. And then if you expand on just the head a little more, you can see how the whole bird's body. And then the bird is sitting on top of a person's head, which is positioned right here. It's also a bird facing to the right. And of course, there's probably so much else, so much other stuff on here, but maybe just taking a look at the edges is kind of something that I wanted to share with you guys. The edges of many of these have wonderful art on them. One of them in particular is this one. And this is another Squirrel Girl type, but let's go ahead and take a look at our edge here. So facing to the right, we can see a shelf eye. I'm going to point it to the left here. and perhaps make out some more portraits or birds. It's a very nifty stone. I believe it represents a bird head in a certain way, but it's got quite the interesting brown paint on it. Let's take a quick look at our fella here. We know of our portrait here, but then if we look down a little bit further, maybe be able to see some more portraits coming in below. And we're just kind of exploring this one together. I know that there's a really neat one here. Here it is. Yes, we've seen this one before a few times. So it's a really neat how the yellow face and the nose and the eye, of course, is represented. The eye, the nose. And then when you tilt it, you can really get that perfect profile. And these will fade as time goes on, like the original gateway has. All right, guys, I think that's it for now. Real quick, I guess we'll show you one more Squirrel Girl here, and I'll show you the tool marks. So oftentimes people want to know where the tool marks are, and I can show you the tool marks right here. So these napped edges, they're very definitive. You can always tell when they are napped, and this is just a small hand tool, a blade, and it does fit in the hand very well. Super sharp. And there's your napped edge right there, as you can see. All right, folks, I think that's it for now. I've got a whole bunch more to go through. I've got to pack up some stuff and move some stuff around, so expect a few more videos in the coming days. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.